Today I'm looking at this Honda HRV that won't go. It won't communicate to a whole load of modules. Just can't get the car started. There's all these things that are offline. I was looking at the canvas, didn't look too bad. That's a pause screen. The middle line is 2.19, slightly lower. Maybe something, pull it down and cut up to it. I think I'm going to have to go to certain things. I'll maybe start with the diesel engine computer and see what's going on, because right now I don't have much to go of. I was thinking this was a no start, but I didn't realize it had so many modules that aren't working. The only ones that are on the body control, and I don't have anything that's really malfunction. Electric parking brake control module, headlight, right side, left side, loss comes with the gauge, VSP sensor failure, not sure what that one is yet, and the power control unit, IG1A circuit error, so that's probably something to do with it. Power control unit, I need to look at that one and see if that's stopping everything else working. Maybe it's the key, maybe it's something to do with the start button, I don't know. But this bit's coming on. I'll go see if I've got powers at maybe the engine computer. Gotta start somewhere. All faults have cleared, but I still don't have any communication to all those modules, which is interesting. Really needing to get more communication. I thought if it was just the engine, I'd go to the engine. But for it to be so many, I'm thinking I need to check further back than that. I'll have a little think and come up with a plan. Here's the fault codes in the body control module. B12D0 VSP sensor failure, or B12D0 power control unit. Looks like ignition, IG1A maybe, circuit error. So I gotta figure out what they are. That IG1A relay is here in the black box behind the instrument cluster. It's not putting power on the red wire that goes down to the fuse box. I've managed to get this car going. One thing that I wanted to do was go back and look at the fuses, so I'm making notes as I go. But I was checking the fuses under here and there's no power, so by jumping the two empty relay spaces, I could get the car going. Now I can communicate to the modules, so I'm going to do a full code scan and see what's happening now. So behind the dash, it's still plugged in on the wires on the instrument cluster, but behind that we've got the body control module here. I have cleaned that up inside the circuit board just using Q-tips and electric cleaner, because apparently they suffer from alarms going off at night and the headlights coming on. So what I've done is taken that off and cleaned it all out, and apparently since then it's been okay, because I've come back to this because I got to a point I couldn't do any more. And what I noticed last time was over here, the box behind it, I've got the power, two powers coming into it, a red wire and a white wire on the small plug. The middle plug I've got two greens and one red. Well, the red wire didn't have any power, but when the ignition's on I was getting power on this pink wire. The brown at the end, at the far end here, and the pink control the power going into this and coming out. So this is basically three relays inside, and I was getting no power on the red wire, which meant no power on the fuse box that's down here, and then I was getting no communication to the modules. When I jumped it before I could get it to run, so I knew the modules were okay. But I've been to the scrapyard and got one. If I put power across pin 1 and pin 3 here and here, this clicks and I get continuity across these pins. So what I'm going to do is just throw this into there and see if it works. That's now got the scrapyard one in there. You see it's got kind of writing on it, or some symbol. And this red wire there, not this one, that has power all the time. And the white one next to it. This white wire comes out of the red one when the brown and the pink energize the relay. And I wasn't getting any power there. So now, there we got no power. It's still 0 and green on the power scan, but if I press the clutch and hit the switch and it's powered up, it started. So it's not been able to do that for a while. What I'll do then is build it up. I've lost my back probing pin when I was just swapping that over. That module there is the one, and I'll show you my notes that I found. Basically what we've got here is if we've got a fuse coming in to a relay and then the power going out of the relay to power, in this case, part of a fuse box, right? That's what it would look like if it was a regular relay. Here's the pink and the black wire, okay? They're the two there. So when they energize the relay, that clicks on, but it just looks different and the wires are set out like that. It's also got, as well as the red wire that goes off to the fuse box that's down there by my foot, it's also got another wire that comes off through a resistor so that it'll know its feedback. I think it goes to this. I think those wires are going to the body control module. What did I list them as? Relay control for those two. But this is the IG1A. The relay IG1A is in there, and that matches the fault code that I had originally. So happy with that. I've just got to build it up. It's just a faulty relay in here. This box that's buried behind there was not, it was getting power to switch on, but the relay wasn't coming on. So we're done with the diag testing it. It took me a while and I had to come back. I went and got a fuse because it's got a different kind of fuse in a different fuse box. And the fuse has got power coming in and all separate terminals coming off the fuse. Almost looks a bit like a comb, but it's got the different fusible links inside that can blow. And that powers the white wire up here. The white wire going in, and then the one coming out is the red on this one with 4 wires. The one coming out is the red, and we didn't have that. And that's going, those red wires are going down to a different fuse box down there by my feet. And that's the ones that if I powered up, the car would start, but it wouldn't switch off unless I unplugged the jumper that I'd put into this fuse box, which would have basically just backfeed it up to here, the red one, which is on here, the red one on here, whichever that was. Oh, where my power scan is in there. It was just backfeeding it, so it's doing the same job, and it would allow it to start and stop. But anyway, that's it. I've changed the relay and it works and it stops on its own now. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody. If you've got the alarm going off all the time, at night, random times, and the headlight's coming on, open this up and clean the circuit board. Even if it looks clean, I just use Q-tips and alcohol wipe. And if it's a no start condition, in this case, no comms to many of the modules, no power going to the relay, so there was going to be no comms, not because of CAN bus, but because there was no power down there. So once I gave it power, I could speak to everything. So I'm going to build this up, and then I'm going to clear all the fault codes, and I'm done. Thanks for watching.